In this video, I'm going to show you how the best players inside of Grow a Garden have gotten hundreds of billions and even trillions of shekels. I'm going to show you their best methods, everything that they do in order to earn tons of money, and how they can actually get on top of the guild events. If you guys do enjoy this video, all that I ask is that you subscribe and watch all the way till the end. It means the world to me, and I want you to know all of the information, so definitely make sure to stay till the end. But if we take a look at the guild's leaderboard over here, we currently have a guild event that's about to actually end in 4 hours. And as you can see, this Noob's Dimension, which is the #1 guild in the game right now, if we go and look at it, some of these people have gotten over 10 trillion shekels. That means they have spent over 10 trillion shekels in the entirety of the game, and you're probably wondering how in the world did they do that for a guild event. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. I also have a bunch of tips and tricks for you guys that I've never covered in the past, so let's just jump straight into it. Let's not waste any time. Alright, so the first thing that I have mentioned in almost every single video, you're going to want to get some sort of sprinklers. Now, you don't have to have the super sprinkler. Matter of fact, what you can do is simply just have a bunch of the lower tier ones. For example, you could have one legendary sprinkler and a rare sprinkler. If you have that, that is the same thing as a super sprinkler. You won't need one anymore. On the other hand, you could have, a common sprinkler, uncommon, some rares, and that's enough as well. You can also do just a legendary and some commons, which is also enough as well. You get the point. There's a lot of ways to do this. Personally, I'm just going to be using one super sprinklers because I have a lot of these and I just farm a bunch of them with my alts. The only other thing you're going to need is a super watering can, and I'll show you how you can get this super easily as well, but you will need this. The reason why we're collecting this stuff is so that way the stuff that we end up growing ends up being a very, very big size, and it's super important you have things like this. But as you can see in my garden, I have a lot of plants with a bunch of mutation. Matter of fact, I actually have an eclipse bloom over here that I am going to go ahead and activate, because once I activate that guy, it's going to start giving mutations off to everything, and we're going to want to do that because we're going to want to collect this stuff. So there we go, eclipse bloom, there it is. Let's start the event, and you don't necessarily need that. It's a mutation that honestly is very hard to get because the plant takes forever to grow, but I have it, so we might as well make good use of it, and hopefully we get some good mutations on like my dragon breaths over here. Now, I put everything super close together, guys, because when events and mutation stuff happen, you actually want your stuff to be a target together, because for example, the lightning event, the thunder or lightning event is a very common event that actually lasts 5 minutes, but as you can see, this gives a chance to apply the electric mutation, and it's basically lightning strikes that occasionally strike the map. So if all your stuff is close together, your chances are very high. And the mutation isn't a very insane multiplier, but it's 25 times, which is not bad at all, to be honest. So I have everything here together, and actually, as you can see, I believe some stuff is getting struck with eclipse. I just saw something like hit near this area, bro. Come on. Please get my dragon breaths with the mutation. The entire goal here is to get a bunch of mutations before you actually collect everything. And the way I have stuff in my garden right now is super messy, so don't worry. I'm going to show you a very nice way to do this that's very OP. But in order for me to actually show you guys this new OP method, I do need to go ahead and collect everything. And that eclipse event's over, so I'm just going to go to my garden and hold down E. And this is simply just the fastest way to actually end up collecting all this stuff. So just give me a few minutes and I'll be back as soon as I'm done collecting to show you how much this by itself is worth. But don't worry, we're gonna get even higher than what this is gonna be. Alright, I collected as much as I could, and the reason I say I collected as much as I could is because, well, inside of the game, the devs have gone ahead and made some changes that makes it a lot harder to actually collect a lot of things. And with what I'm about to actually show you, this will not matter. We will be able to completely bypass it. But selling the inventory that I just collected over here with so many things with mutations Let's see. By default, I'm guaranteed 6 billion shekels from the daily deal. And guess what? It gets even better than that. That's actually without a friend boost or any double or nothing. So once I get a friend boost, it's going to be like 12 billion almost. But this method is going to need some pots. Now, if you don't have this, it's completely okay. It's just a very big preference in collecting things. So what we're actually going to go ahead and do is try and pot everything. Now, I do want to say, fair warning, if you're going to use the pots, guys, it is going to remove all of the fruits grown on the plant. So be careful. But I got 48 of these pots. So here we go. Let's start potting everything. And we're just going to go ahead and grab all of these guys. Just hold down E. Pot every single ghost pepper. Every single, dragon breath. All that stuff. Dragon breath obviously a whole lot better. So let me try and get that maybe. All right, there we go. I found the root to the dragon breaths. I have so many planted down here. And don't worry. Potting all of this is the best thing you can actually do. Also, another amazing part about like potting everything is it actually makes it unstealable. So people will not be able to steal our stuff. And my goal is to try and pot everything that's a dragon breath. Not really a ghost pepper, because the ghost peppers work a little bit differently. They're kind of big, so they're not the best things to pot. You want to pot stuff that typically goes higher up. So that can be anything like coconuts, all that stuff work. Just don't really try to do it with the ghost pepper. The ghost pepper is not bad, but it's not the best either. Okay, I literally only got 2 more pots, so I guess let's go ahead and get a moon bloom here, bro. And I guess maybe the star fruit. No, we want to keep the star fruits over there. It's fine. Let's just get a hypno bloom. There we go. Boom. I ran out of pots. So you might need more, but they're very easy to get, guys. Pots can be found inside of the gear shop, and they're very commonly in stock, to be honest. It's right here. Definitely don't buy it with Robux. Just get alt accounts and help use your alt accounts to purchase it for you. Doing this method will make you a lot of shekels, so you can get your alts tons of money, and they'll be able to purchase pretty much everything, including super watering cans and super sprinklers. But now with all of these potted plants, what we want to actually go ahead and do is this little trick. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. The goal with all these pots is that you can actually place them directly on top of each other. So one way that I really like to do it is by actually going to the build menu and finding a ladder. Now, you don't have to get a ladder, but I think it makes it so much easier. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and place a ladder straight like right here. I think that's a good spot. I am actually gonna go ahead, grab a trowel real quick, and we're just gonna go ahead and move our eclipse blooms and everything over. I just don't want these guys blocking the thing that we're about to do, so let's just put them over there. But now what you're going to do with this is pot everything at an exact spot. So what we're gonna do is grab the hypno bloom right here, and we're just gonna find the level that we want to pot it at right here. So I like to keep it close to the floor. You can also just do this with the corners of the map. It doesn't matter. I personally prefer the ladder, and I stay on like the first circle right here. So, or the first square. So here we go. Boom, potted one, just like so. You're not going to be able to see it, but once you do grab more pots, as you can see, you'll be able to place it right over one another. So here we go. Come on. It's a little hard to place all of these because it keeps getting me to like pick up the other one. But boom, there's like 2. There's 3, 4, and I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly do this to show you guys it actually works. And it's completely okay if the pot is big. As you can see, all I'm literally doing, bro, is just grabbing these and placing them on top of each other. I'm not gonna go ahead and do the ghost peppers yet. I like to save that for last because they're so annoying. All right, there we go. I've done it with pretty much all of these guys, and as you can see, everything is now actually like in the exact same spot. It's just one big pot because one of them has just a massive base, and they're all in there. The whole point of this is so that once one lightning strike happens, everything on here will get the mutation. You don't have to wait forever, and you can also collect things super easily. So for example, let's go ahead and place just one super sprinkler. I'm not gonna need a lot because they're all in one spot, and then we just go ahead and water the base just like that. Look at everything growing, bro. That is as easy as it gets. Oh my god, we got ones that are 90 kg too. Now this can get also a whole lot better. But I do have a fat glow mushroom here, bro. I think I'm just gonna have to delete these, bro. Oh no, I hate deleting these, bro. This was some of my favorite stuff in my garden, but here we go. We gotta take them out, man. They're just no good. Can we get an L for the glow mushrooms that served a very long time in my inventory, bro? But yeah, these guys are all just gonna be gone. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete everything here. Acorns, we don't need that. Let's open up some space. And now, as you can see, everything is just one tower, bro. Did I miss any dragon breaths? I hope not. Yeah, over here is just ghost peppers and stuff. The reason why it doesn't work so well with ghost peppers, obviously, because they don't get lined up as well. So now I can just collect all of these guys super easily. And the best part is I could just place another sprinkler, come here, collect all of these guys, and then use the one watering can, bro. Look at how fast I'm getting these dragon breaths. Boom. I'm just cleaning the entire thing. Now, there's one more thing that pros do that's super important. That actually has to do with pets, and you might think it's going to be the unicorn because this doubles the chances to get a rainbow. Well, that's not the case. Although unicorn doubles the chances to get a rainbow, the chances for a rainbow are extremely low, meaning if you were to actually use the dragonfly pets, you are at a more advantage of getting something that's golden. Yes, the multiplier is lower, but you're going to get a whole lot more than you would with rainbow. And since I only have 4 golden dragonflies, I am gonna go ahead and use the other 2 slots as a rainbow just because I don't have any more. But getting gold is a lot more common when holding down E to harvest everything, so that's why I prefer using that. I'm sure a lot of the pros are going to use that one more than the other thing just because it's so much faster. But look at that, my inventory's full, bro. Just from doing that, I got 1,450 fruits in here, and if I were to go ahead and sell this, I would get 6.21 billion, and that's because obviously a lot of the ones I just collected just have no mutations. I've gotten a server full of people that I can go ahead and add real quick, so that way we get a massive friend boost. And you're going to want to do this. If you're not using the friend boost, then you're missing out on so much shekels, bro. I hope it actually applies to our daily deal. I believe it does. Yes, as you can see, it's almost 10 billion. All right, there we go. We got it up to a 70% boost. That's the highest you can get. And with a 70% boost, just for this inventory, we're selling that for 10 billion. And oh my gosh, that's insane, bro. Boom. There we go. Let's get the daily deal. And look at that, bro. New sell price record. Okay, so in this video, I also completely forgot to actually mention that you want to look at the sell multiplier as well. That's actually the biggest part when selling. You want to view the sell prices. And as you can see, Dragon's Breath is at a 4 times multiplier. And, well, I've already sold everything, so that's great. But yeah, you get it. It's gonna make you a whole lot more money if you do use the sell all, especially when the plant that you have the most of and is worth the most is at a 4 times multiplier. So just wait for that. That's actually the most I've sold at once for, and it can still keep going higher if you guys just, you know, get mutations on the dragon breaths, collect them, and stuff like that. Also, there is the star fruit, which is super OP because this fruit itself can actually give you mutation. If you come to the seed shop and you see the star fruit and you have enough to purchase it, definitely get it, bro. This literally gives mutations to your plants just for AFK. I believe it can also pop up in the auction if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, it's gonna be a little bit hard to find in here. But what I really like to do here is actually come to the stuff that I have just placed down, place a super sprinkler, and then come up and just collect everything. And as soon as you do this, you want to go back down and you know, place the super watering can. That way the stuff that grows ends up being pretty big. But guess what, there's a trick to that too. So I didn't think this worked, but apparently if you place 2 watering cans back to back really quickly, your plants end up becoming bigger. So let's go and test it out. Boom, 2 watering cans, and yeah, well, it's still growing. Okay, let's see. Oh, 62 kg. I think the average height for all of them does become bigger, but they don't necessarily get bigger. There's one over here that's very big in size, 81 kg. Oh my god. But yeah, you can get things even higher. Like for example, right here I got a golden one thanks rest of the dragonflies, all that stuff. It's insane. And I don't recommend you instantly collect these. Just let them settle down for a little bit, wait for it to get mutations, and then pick it up. And you don't have to have ghost peppers to do this, guys. Just as an FYI, you can use anything that doesn't like spread out as much. Like the ghost pepper, that's a terrible thing to plant, but what you can actually use, there's a lot of options. For example, cactus works great if you're a newer player. Green bean, banana is also pretty good because it all grows to like a certain size. Grape is pretty good. Coconut's definitely really good. Mango is a bad option. Dragon fruit I think is also a bad option. Acorn is bad too. Fire fern is good. Venus flytrap is great. And a lot of these things are pretty amazing. It works best with the dragon breath, though. The way the dragon breath is just designed, it grows straight up. So this does work pretty good with that. And the higher your dragon breath actually is, the more fruits it can grow on it at once. So it's beneficial. Same thing can actually be said about the star fruit. It's very good. Would definitely do it with this one because it also gives you mutations. So it's insane. But obviously, I'm not going to spend 1,800 Robux on this one item, bro. Now, if you are trying to actually get good items and you never find a good in stock, there's two ways you can approach it. One way is using the auction guy. This guy does overprice things at the very lowest price, but if you wait till the very end, you can get kind of a good deal, and at least you won't have to wait forever for a stock. And the second best thing you can absolutely do is use the predictor in my Discord server. It will be linked in the description, but this basically tells you when the gears are coming up. I should mention the person we get the estimates from now did mention that they have changed it. The game devs changed how restocks work, so they can't be predicted exactly. They are just now statistical estimates, which are often right but not always guaranteed. So just take that into account when you see things like this. It's only right about like weather and stuff. And no matter which method you end up using, definitely use alts. That way you can purchase more at once. I mean, it's the best way to do it. That's how I've been able to get tons of sprinklers and tons of super watering cans. I should also mention, don't obviously always look at people in the guilds, because fun fact, a lot of these guilds here are exploiting. That's the truth of this game, is a lot of people in these guilds are exploiting. Like, I am sure this person with 10 trillion probably didn't get a legit, but I'm not gonna put any claims on that. However, you can tell a lot of these guys look like they're bots, and they have 5 trillion, 4 trillion. Like, how the heck in the world did they get that? But let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this video, all that I ask you is hurry up and watch this video on the screen right here. I went to pick it for you myself. It would mean the world to me, but pick it fast. This video's about to end. And until then, I'll catch you in that video. Hurry, click it. Bye.